939 FM. The Remedy.
Now listen. As a player, you owe yourself, your team, your coach, and your fans good health. Don't joke with your health. Your superpower is your good health.
Yes, sir! Yes, coach! Let's go!
This message is powered by Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Well, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning right here in the Asian city of Ibadan. Welcome to Kickoff Sports Show, live on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM, Ibadan. It's time for us again to take a cursory look at all of those latest updates making the rounds in the ever-exciting world of sports. We talk Formula One, we talk NBA, we talk tennis, and of course we talk football on the show every day, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. 30 minutes of dishing out amazing sports content right here on your Remedy Dial. Welcome once again to Kickoff Sports Show on Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is Omoni Alade, but you can simply call me the Sport Wizard. Well, charity, they say, begins at home, but this morning we take our charity to the United States of America to start strong with the update coming through from the National Basketball Association. Well, games were decided at the wee hours of today in the NBA, and of course, we saw New York Knicks getting the better Miami Heat 116 to 95 points attended at the wee hours of today. Elsewhere, after overtime, Houston Rockets defeated Philadelphia 76ers 144 to 137 points, and after overtime as well in the wee hours of today, Minnesota Timberwolves lost at home to Indiana Pacers 130 to 132 points. New Orleans Pelicans also were beaten by Detroit Pistons 81 to 127 points, while of course Utah Jazz lost at their home turf against Chicago Bulls 97 to 111 points. In the wee hours of today, the Golden State Warriors also were beaten at home by Denver Nuggets 105 to 114 points. Phoenix Suns also defeated Toronto Raptors 129 to 89 points. And of course, 3 more games were decided in the early hours of today. Los Angeles Lakers, our team, defeated San Antonio Spurs 125 to 109 points. The Sacramento Kings also were victorious against the Memphis Grizzlies 132 to 122 points. And of course, Portland Trail Blazers also defeated Washington Wizards by 112 to 97 points. Those were the result of games decided in the wee hours of today in the NBA. Now, more updates coming through from the world of basketball this morning. Let's confirm to you that Milwaukee Bucks center Jericho Sims underwent surgery yesterday to repair a torn ligament in his right thumb. That, according to an announcement from the Milwaukee Bucks, Sims is expected to miss approximately 4 weeks, but the Bucks said in a press release that he would likely return for the playoffs. And for Sims, remember, he suffered the injury when he played in Saturday's 126 to 119 victory over the Indiana Pacers. We wish him speedy recovery. More updates coming through from the NBA this morning. New Orleans Pelicans forward Trey Murphy III will now sit out the rest of the season after being diagnosed with a torn labrum and partial tear of the rotator cuff in his right shoulder, according to an announcement by New Orleans Pelicans. And of course, the Pelicans also confirmed that the injury occurred when Murphy dislocated his right shoulder during the first quarter of Monday's 127 to 81 loss to the Detroit Pistons. That was in the wee hours of today. right, away from basketball this morning, let's take you to the world of tennis. Let's talk tennis. It's all about the Miami Open and, of course, the qualifiers as well. Let's confirm to you, coming through from the world of tennis, Ima Raducanu will face Japan's Sayaka Ishii in the first round of the Miami Open, with Britain's Katie Botta also drawn against the Peyton Stearns. Raducanu will be bidding to improve on her previous tournament outing, which was a straight set defeat to Miyuka Uchijima in the first round of the Indian Wells. And of course, she will be trying to work out at the Miami Gardens with victories in games. And for the American 8 seed, Emma Navarro, she lies in the weight in the next round should Raducanu progress. And a favorable draw also keeps the British number 2 away from the big names until a potential round of 16 clash against 4th seed Jessica Pegula. Now let's talk more about the Miami Open this morning. A lot of games will be decided today. Talking about the ATP 1000 qualification games in the Miami Open. Alexander Shevchenko will be on court today. Jacob Findlay also on court today. Terence Ataman also will be in action today. Christopher O'Connell against Marco Tungerti also will be live today. Talking about the qualifiers for the ATP 1000 category of the Miami Open. Now let's talk about the ladies WTA category. A number of games will be decided in the Miami Open today. Anastasia Pachuklenkova against Magdalena. Varvara Grenchova will also be on court against Alicia Pex. Victoria Tomova against Katin McCannell. Jessica Buzas-Monero will be on court against Lucia Bronzetti also later today. Naomi Osaka against Elisabetta Coseretto. Claire Liu against Linda Fruchitova. I mean, it's a long list really, but of course, all of those games will be decided today in the Miami Open. That's talking about the WTA 1000 category of that tournament. Well, check your time. It's 7 minutes gone past 9 o'clock on the AM side. More updates coming through this morning from the world of football. We shall be talking about the NPFL matches and, of course, updates coming through from the camp of Shooting Stars Sport Club of Ibadan. A game was decided yesterday in the NPFL. Sunshine Stars against the Plateau United. We shall get to that into a bit. And, of course, update coming through from the camp of the Super Eagles ahead of that game against the Amavubi of Rwanda on Friday. 22 players are now in camp of the Super Eagles, and not forgetting what's happening concerning Lionel Messi and the Argentine national team. All of this you get after this timeout. More to come on Kickoff Sports Show. Stay here. Don't touch the dial.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Well, it's the Kickoff Sports Show right here on the Remedy Dial, the Solutions 93.9 FM, Ibadan. Now it's time for us to talk football on the show this morning. Let's start from the NPFL. The show is live on Facebook, by the way. You can join on Facebook at Solutions 939 FM is the handle on Facebook. Go there, talk to me about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. What do you expect in those two crunch fixtures against Rwanda and Zimbabwe? Now let's talk about the NPFL. Yesterday, game was decided. Sunshine Stars of Akure played out a 2-2 draw against the Plateau United to complete the round 29 matches of the Nigerian Premier Football League. And check out the standings this morning after that game decided in Ikene yesterday. Sunshine Stars and now 18th on the NPFL log. And of course, not looking good for them. I don't know if they're going to relegate or avoid relegation at the end of the day. But of course, not looking good for Sunshine Stars. 33 points after 29 matches, and the sit 18th on the log. While for Plateau United, they maintain the 15th position, 35 points after 29 matches played so far in the league. Now let's talk about the Shooting Stars Sport Club of Ibadan. The coach of the side, Benga Ogunbote, is speaking and assuring the Ibadan fans that Shooting Stars would have something to celebrate at the end of this season. Well, no doubt about it, Shooting Stars' title ambition seem to have been derailed, and I think for Shooting Stars, the continental slot is now looking very, very dicey and very, very much unrealistic. But of course, the coach of the side, Benga Ogunbote, the Oracle, is still optimistic that a bad outfit can celebrate something at the end of the season. For Shooting Stars, remember, they are winless in their last 7 matches, and of course their fortunes have dwindled in the current NPFL campaign, dropping from the second spot in the table to the 6th position in the NPFL standings. And remember, they lost over the weekend against Aqua United by 2-0. And when Ogunbote was speaking, he said, definitely we still have 9 more matches to go before the end of the season, and Shooting Stars can definitely pull Chestnut out of fire, the Fire Lords, and get the maximum points in the games and see how far they can go this season. Maybe get a continental ticket. We don't know, but of course, Ogunbote said there is still enough time for Shooting Stars to change their fortunes in the NPFL this season. Well, for Shooting Stars, they will be in action tomorrow in the President Federation's Cup against Zamfara United. That match will be played in Abuja. And of course, they're going to return to Ibadan to play the NPFL game against the Niger Tornadoes in the match day 30 of the NPFL. So that's the update concerning Shooting Stars Sport Club of Ibadan. All right, very quickly this morning, let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. No doubt about it, the Super Eagles are in a very precarious situation in the World Cup qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. And no doubt about it, the players have started arriving in camp ahead of that crunch fixture against the Amavubi of Rwanda. That will be on Friday. Well, according to the update we got earlier today, we've got 22 players now in camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, 22 players are in camp as on this morning. The captain, Trustekong, joined the boys in camp. Olayin also has arrived. Ademola Lookman, the reigning African Player of the Year, also in camp. Joe Aribo, the player for Southampton, also in camp. Wilfred Ndidi, Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi, all of these players are in camp. And the early arrivals for the Super Eagles, we had Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Samuel Chukwueze, Jordan Torunariga, Raphael Onyedika, Stanley Nwabali, Moses Simon, and of course Bruno Yemachi, Papa Daniel, Kayode Bankole, and Amos Obasage. Not forgetting the man who a lot of people have tagged as the next Victor Osimhen, Tolu Arokodare. Yes, he's a striker, and man has been scoring goals with reckless abandon this season. And yesterday, the man spoke talking about Tolu Arokodare. He got his first invitation to the camp of the Super Eagles, and he spoke about how excited he is to get that call up and what fans should expect from him in those 2 fixtures against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. Here is the voice of the man, Tolu Arokodare.
First, I was surprised. I felt very honored to be mentioned amongst the was it 31? Yeah, I think 31 players. It was quite surprising. I mean, I knew it was coming because I've been doing pretty well, and I was hoping it would come. And it did come, and I felt like a winner already, even if I already had it at the back of my mind that even if I didn't get to make the final 23, that I've done something, I've achieved something. And being in the final 23 also was, yeah, I just felt really blessed and I was very grateful. It means a lot. It's one of the best things that could happen to a football player, getting the opportunity to represent your country, to play. I mean, as a kid, you always watched the national legends play. You always wanted to play for your national team, and finally being in that position to be able to play for my country, it means a lot to me.
Well, there you go, the voice of Tolu Arokodare, the man who got his first Super Eagles call-up. And of course, man said he's very excited to don the jersey of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now the big question is, will the Super Eagles coach, Eric Chell, trust Tolu Arokodare to lead the line against Rwanda and Zimbabwe? Fingers crossed, we wait to see what happens on Friday and next week Tuesday when the Super Eagles will file out against Rwanda and Zimbabwe, respectively. Now there is a man, a Super Eagles legend, speaking ahead of those two crunch fixtures. His name is Emmanuel Amunike, and he said a lot concerning the Super Eagles and Rwanda, not forgetting Zimbabwe. I get to tell you what Amunike has said after this commercial break. Kickoff Sports Show will return in just a moment.
I can't seem to find the right event center for this party.
What's the problem? You sound so worried.
I've been searching for a venue that can handle both the formal ceremony and the casual after party. Nothing seems to fit both moods.
Have you heard of Aweni Arena Event Center?
Aweni Arena? What makes them so special?
They are the perfect blend of elegance and comfort. Their venue is versatile, has the perfect space, event managers, and security for every occasion. And they will work with you to create the perfect setting for every part of your event.
Wow, this is perfect. Aweni Arena really nailed it.
Yes, they did. Visit us at 116 Obafemi Awolowo Way, Iyano Liberty, Okado, Ibadan, or call 0809-360-7888 or 0706-899-4970 to book your event today. Aweni Arena Event Center is where your event finds its perfect fit.
True strength. What defines it? The brilliance of a player, or when a team comes together to win. A solo beat, or the rhythm of many. The flair of one dancer, or the art of a troupe. One distinct voice, or the beauty of the symphony. At FCMB Group, we build ecosystems, empower communities, and create the future. Because we believe it's not just one, but the power of the group that delivers the future we all desire. FCMB, the power of the group.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
From the east to the west, now we dey carry first. From the north to the south, go reach the south. You go see say we get mouth, cause we know they carry last. Naija know they carry last. We dey ball like Okocha or Aziza to Shola, Agba Bola, and we fit carry shoulder, cause we know they carry last. Now we get it your love, we both get it pasta, but we live on for them, cause now we get superstar. But now we see the video, if you feel me let me know, cause we know they carry last. What are you there for Canada, Orile or Ibaja, whether you come from Italo, Birmingham or from Kano, one thing I know, Eminado. Now we they carry the world, so we know if we carry last. Mama, we know if we carry last. Yeah, yeah. So raise your hand wherever you are. 2 fingers for me if you love Naija. We going higher.
Shout out to you, Kobam Sasoko, in the song Naijano they carry last. Indeed, Naijano they carry last, but hopefully they don't carry last in the World Cup qualifiers because, like I said earlier, it's not looking good for the Super Eagles of Nigeria at all. Thank you very much for keeping it 93.9 Kickoff Sports Show right here on the Remedy Dial. Now let's talk about Emmanuel Amuneke. He's a former Super Eagles player and of course former Super Eagles coach. Emmanuel Amuneke, man was speaking, and he has warned that the 2026 World Cup qualifiers will be very challenging for the Super Eagles as the team prepares for crucial matches against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. According to Emmanuel Amuneke, he said the qualification of Nigeria is not gonna be easy. Remember, the Super Eagles currently sit 5th in Group C with just 3 points from 4 matches, and they need to win consecutive games to boost their chances of reaching the tournament that will be co-hosted by United States, Mexico, and Canada. And I think it's more difficult because Nigeria failed to qualify for the last edition of the World Cup in Qatar. So is it going to be back-to-back misses for the Super Eagles? Fingers crossed, wish them all the very best in those 2 games on Friday and Tuesday. Now away from the shores of the African continent, let's go straight to the South American continent. Let's talk about Lionel Messi. Well, according to the information we have this morning, Lionel Messi will not be joining Argentina for their World Cup qualifiers against Brazil and Uruguay later this month. And of course, according to the report, Lionel Messi failed to make the final roster. That was yesterday after he sustained an injury in the last 24 hours. Remember, Inter Miami, that's the club Lionel Messi plays for, confirmed that Messi underwent an MRI on Monday after feeling discomfort in his adductor during Sunday's 2-1 victory over Atlanta United FC. And of course, for Lionel Messi, he was initially named in the 33-player roster for Argentina on the 2nd of this month, despite concerns over his physical status. And of course, it's going to be so sad not to see Messi in action for Argentina as they try to defend the title they won last time out in Qatar. Well, we wish Messi, we wish Argentina all the very best. And remember, for Brazil as well, Neymar da Silva Jr. has also been confirmed to miss the 2 fixtures they are going to play in the World Cup qualifiers. So we'll wait to see how it all pans out at the end of the day. All right, before we leave the show this morning, let's talk club football. Let's go straight to Old Trafford and talk about Manchester United. Well, Manchester United ticket price rises ahead of next season, less than a week after unveiling plans to build a new £2 million stadium. According to the reports we're getting from Old Trafford, Manchester United are set to increase the cost of season tickets by 5%, and tickets for supporters under the age of 16 have now been frozen, but some senior tickets have been removed, according to the update we're getting from the Old Trafford. And for Manchester United, remember last week their co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe said they would run out of money by Christmas without his investment, and a number of cost-cutting measures, including making 450 staff redundant, has been taken by the British billionaire. So we wait to see how far Manchester United would go this season. Well, I think the Premier League title is home and dry for them. They can definitely not win the Premier League, but of course they can still fancy the chances of lifting the UEFA Europa League. All right, away from Old Trafford this morning, let's move straight to the Stamford Bridge and talk about Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea have strongly condemned the racist abuse faced by defender Wesley Fofana in the aftermath of their loss to Arsenal in the London derby on Sunday. According to a post by Chelsea Football Club, they said they are appalled and disgusted by the recent rise in online racial abuse towards their players. That according to a statement from Chelsea yesterday. Remember, Chelsea lost to Arsenal by a lone goal. That was on Sunday, and it looks like their Champions League qualification hopes have now been dented. Hopefully, Chelsea can still arrest the situation and get that ticket to go play in the Champions League next season. And away from the Premier League this morning, let's move straight to the French Ligue 1, where Marseille midfielder, Adrien Rabiot, has now taken aim at Paris Saint-Germain president Nasser El Khelaifi following Olympique Marseille's 3-1 defeat to PSG. That was on Sunday. And of course, he wrote it there saying, "You can't buy class." That was what he posted on social media, telling Paris Saint-Germain president Nasser El Khelaïfi, "You can't buy class." Remember, the match between PSG and Olympique Marseille was marred by anti-gay chanting and racist slurs from Paris Saint-Germain fans targeting Marseille, and in particular Rabiot, who returned to his former team to a hostile reception. I don't know what's going on with Rabiot and PSG, but of course, it was actually a hostile atmosphere in that game. Paris Saint-Germain won against Olympique Marseille by 3-1. And just before we leave the show this morning, there is this interesting story I saw where a team actually observed a minute silence for an ex-player who is still alive. Yeah, the player is still alive, but the team got a wrong information that the player is dead. And in their game, they observed a 1 minute silence, only for them to realize later that this player is still alive. It was a Bulgarian top-flight team named Ada Kadzali Demond Petko Ganchev. That's the player before Sunday's league game with Levski Sofia. And of course, at the end of the game, they realized that this player is still pretty much alive and not dead. And they apologized for doing that. So that's the update coming through from the Bulgarian league right there. All right, we've got to leave the show this morning. Shout out to you, Adekombi Ibrahim Toig Badamosi. Thank you very much for joining the show on Facebook. Remember, Kickoff Sports Show returns tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. By then, we give you the full squad list in the Super Eagles camp, and we see how far the preparation would go. They've got a training session today. Later today, the Super Eagles will file out to train in Rwanda. Wait to see how it all goes. We update you tomorrow. Join Young Striker 9 for more updates. My name is Omoni Alade. You call me the sport wizard. Coming right up is from the dailies, Comrade Adedamola, laughing wise around the corner already, and he will be joined virtually by Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe. Today is Tuesday, and all I wish you is joy. It is called Ayo in Yoruba. Bye for now.
If they're dirty, don't mind them.